We are back with a final game, which is DI versus MLB, and I've introduced the new box before. That DI and Night Rose are two protect decks that will take the meta back. And so MLB does go first, and the DI writes a Great Searcher and hits the Charlotte there. And let me explain Charlotte's skill. Charlotte's skill is actually before the attack phase, you check your soul. For each soul, you plus 1k to the front row, and if you have 13 souls when you attacks the Vanguard, you can actually counter plus 1 and stand 2 rear guards. So it's the same idea with Night Rose, which is multi-battle. So basically, protect decks have always been just defensive, but with this new introduced set, it enhances them to be aggressive. And multi-battle is usually not what Force can deal well with. It's basically like an Excel without the draw, but having the protect marker to guard against the big columns that Force can bring, such as MLB. So the MLB goes for the second turn. Now it's his turn. He goes to the Blaster Dart, and since there's no fuel on the DI lane, DI's fuel, you can actually drop the Blaster Blade there and goes for the Twin Drive. Calls the Star Core there very early, retrieving back the Blaster Blade because he wants to use a lever out skill here. So what will he be finding? Most likely the Blaster Rapier here. Actually move the Star Core to the right, boosting the lever rod there. So the Blaster Rapier skill is actually on attack. If your Vanguard is a Blaster Vanguard, in this case it is, you can actually chop the tap card and then you can put it to the bottom if you don't like it. So basically, it's a similar idea to OTT, and in this moment, the MLB deck all his cards are jumbled up. So I am the judge beside, and I have opted to help me shuffle and arrange the cards neatly to prevent any foul play in this game. So sorry for the delay of the shuffling. And from my recent tournament that I uploaded for the final, it was Night Rose who entered the final, and today we actually have DI. So it's back-to-back Protect, who is claiming back the meta. So Blaster Rapier swings here, check top card, putting it to the bottom here. So Blaster Dart swings for a Twin Drive. Guards for 2 pass here. Very good guard, because you don't want any cheap criticals being punched in here, because you'll be easy 3 damage. So what will the DI play? Doesn't seem to have Album Master here. Actually writes the Awful Nail here. So basically it's on place, Vanguard Irregular Circle, you actually plus 5k if you have 5 or more souls. So in this case, I don't think he has 5 or more souls. So it's just going to be a 9k Vanguard. He's considering whether to call more Awful Nails as seen from his hand. If he calls it down here, actually it's a 14k attacker already, since there will be 5 souls. Actually call the Succubus first, which is a Great Searcher. Misses the search. I believe he's looking for a Number of Terror here, which is actually a very strong, powerful card to play with Charlotte. Hopefully in this game we will be able to witness how Number of Terror actually helps the deck. She calls a second Awful Nail here, so charging 1, so charge a huge trigger, unfortunate, it calls his third one, so charging the other Grade 1 Dabba introduced to DI. So because you have 1 card enter, so this turn, Succubus actually plus 5k, so in that column, it's actually hitting for a nice number of 25k. So he's aside for 5k guard, Vanguard swings for 1 pass here, and a Blaster Rapier. Goes for 1 pass, actually hits the critical trigger, so it's power to the side, power to the Vanguard and critical to the side. So actually no guards here, pushing 2 damage effectively, so very good play by the DI player here. MLB goes for his right. Searching for his markers here. Haven't decided yet where will he place his first marker. Actually place it to the side, which is a very standard play for MLB. Since you want the side to hit first before you suck them in for the MLB skill. Calls the Blaster Blade here. I believe he's going to reconsider to use Blaster Blade skill. Actually uses the Blaster Blade skill to kill off the awful nail there. Oh, but reconsiders it again, given that he doesn't have much soul to work with, to use Star Core and the Blaster Dart. The Blaster Blade at the same turn. That'll be things hard here. There's no incentive to actually kill off the hit awful nail here, since they actually have done their job. They are just a 9k beat stick. So actually he calls the Allen here, which corner +1, you actually can call one card that's higher grade or equal grade, basically lower than your Vanguard's grade to the regular circle, and you plus 3k to Allen. It actually calls a Lever Rod here. Will he be using Lever Rod skill? He does. Yep, he does search for Lever Rod. True Lever Rod. Most likely for the Blaster Blade or Star Core. Yeah, actually goes for the Blaster Blade here. Swing with the Blaster Blade first, boosted by the Star Core, which is hitting for actually 30k, which is a 25k guard. Very pressured. Actually ease it straight away. MLB swings, sucking in the Blaster Blade from the back, and the Star Core here to produce 2 more markers. Very balanced skill from the MLB here. Putting 1 marker to the middle and 1 marker to the side. So Vanguard is actually swinging for 39k here. So no guards here, which is a double critical. Actually he's a crit here. Oh, so just 3 damage here. It could have been over for the for the DI player, but it's all damage trigger blank. This is very unfortunate. Swings to the Lever Rod here, which is hitting for 30k, which is a 25k guard. Throws it, so that DI still have shields in hand. Right, is a shout out here, getting the marker. Will he be able to fight back this turn? But I doubt he can actually hit the 13 souls in this turn, since he didn't have the number of terror, or doesn't really have the yellow bolt to begin with. The slow start actually goes for the Ember Master here. What will he decide to soul charge here? There's only actually 3 targets here, or rather 4. Shout himself, Ember Master, Awful Nail, and the Succubus. Actually chooses the Shout here. So soul charging 3, I believe. So that's an effective +3 soul, which is very important for Charlotte, since you actually want to have more souls before your battle phase, so you can actually pump power, and especially useful against MLB who has an 18k base, as shown in this game. Moving up the Ember Master to the front row, because Ember Master does have a 10k shield instead of a 5k one. So actually, there's 9 souls currently. So 9 souls to the Awful Nail is 18k, which is just nice. It's the magic number of 18k. Very fortunate for the DI player here, or would it be mostly calculated already by the DI player? Ember Master swings for 23k here, which is 10k guard. Another magic number. Contemplating whether to eat here, but unfortunately he can only withstand 1 red guard this turn, since he doesn't have the 13 soul requirement. swinging with the awful nail here. I believe he not too sure that he actually can stand too. Oh. So I believe I called it out here. Notifying him that he doesn't have the 13 soul. So he can't withstand 2 Regards here. And chose a 25k here. I think we are notifying him now. Yep, so he can only stand 1 Rearguard here. Apologies for the misplay here, but luckily he was caught in game. So actually throws a no pass here. Gets a heal there. Power into the side. And critical there. Ouch. Let's swing in for a nasty number. I believe it's a 38k boosting by a 13k. So it's actually a 51k power. Asking for a 35k guard here. Does he have it? If not, it's game over since he's already at 4. He actually vomits out 35k worth of shield, leaving himself with only 1 hand. It's MLB turn here again. With only 2 cards left in hand, and against a protect and a credible 35k shield in hand, this could seem like an uphill battle for the MLB. Cause the MLB to the side. His MLB here is actually thinking what is the better play here with only 1 card left. So he actually calls the booster behind. So actually a mistake here I would like to point out. The better play would actually be calling the Frogger to the side and swinging at the Elbow Master here, forcing a 10k guard, rather than just putting it behind to boost and then sucking it in without doing much. Because you're going to suck it in anyway, so might as well put it to a regular circle with a force marker in this case to actually force the intercept, or minusing more shields. I'm not sure if he actually catch it. Yeah, he actually commits the play either way. So that's a misplay here. Putting markers, thinking of the last marker whether which one to put to the Vanguard or to the side again. But given that it's a protect marker, you have to force it out. So actually there's no really other play. You actually have to force it in the middle to force in the PG to be out. But MLB, the DI player only have 3 hand size to work with. No, sorry, 4 hand size with 1 protect marker. So it's actually quite straightforward. Okay, commits the marker to the middle. A PG is forced out here. Triple drives into a triple blank. Very unfortunate. But Vanguard is swinging. The regular MLB is swinging for 33k, which is a 25k guard. So actually chose a 30k shield here, introduced to protect decks, which is very very important and clutch here. Commits the critical here to the boost, so there's no soul charge in this turn, so there's still 9 cards in soul. But the 9 cards is just enough to hit the magic number of MLB. Swings for with the awful new, which is 18k power. So asking for a 5k guard here. 5k guard is thrown here. Swings with a 10k guard here. because Ember Master is hitting for 24. No, 23, sorry. He is it. And there's a 5 damage here. Swing the Sharot, boosting, extending the side. It is a critical here to secure the game, and we move on to game 2. So game 2 begins with MLB going first again here. Will the DI be able to call the number of terror here, which I mentioned in the previous game? Number of terror is such a good synergy with Sharot. You see, you can multi-battle and drawing cards at the same time. What's not to love? So MLB writes to the Allen here again. Passing turn. So we do see a number of terror in the DI hand, so it's going to be a fun game to watch. DI actually writes the Naruto here. Getting a quick shoe along with it. Swings with the Naruto here, also known as the yellow boat. No pass here. Try checks into another yellow boat with some Kage Bunshin stuff. Writes the Blaster Blade here, using the order straight away to find Blaster Dark. So I have noticed at the side that his cards are all basically jumbled up again, so I do offer the help to actually shuffle his cards and arrange it properly before any mishap happens in this game, given that it's a final game after all. Well, the MLB player actually decide how he should commit this turn. Calls the Blaster Dark and the Winger Brave here. Not too sure why he actually commits the Blaster Dark here early. Forcing a 5k guard here, it doesn't bring too much incentive given the fact that the DI player actually has a quick shoot after all. Just checks into a lever right here and it gets a damage trigger, and then it's completely over for basically for the MLB's turn. Although he does hit the top 7 search here, but the Blaster Dark Cord does not bring any value in his turn, so I would say it's a misplay there. He's a Blaster Rapier here. So it's back to the DI turn here. Draws for turn. Riding the Ember Master, using the skill of Yellow Boat, so Soul Charge 2. If you Soul Charge 1 trigger, you'll get to draw 1 card. But unfortunately, you don't Soul Charge any trigger here. As ironic as it sounds, you actually want to Soul Charge a trigger here, so you can actually draw 1 card, cycling more into the deck. So using the Ember Master on himself to secure the souls, Soul Charging just 2, most likely the other one is in his hand. So comparing to last game, DI player actually has a better start here, having more souls to build up. Most likely we'll be seeing the double restand in this game. She calls the Naruto there. So the DI player is thinking whether to commit the Edge in the Darkness, which is a new double R for DI. On place on the regular circle is just a Soul Charge 1, but if you are Superior Chord by an effect, which is the Deus Dice Rise, I can't really pronounce the name, so sorry. So basically, if you are Superior Chord somehow, you can actually counter charge 1. Not the most amazing thing, but I guess it's a bonus for DI players. So Yellow Boat swings at the Blaster Dark because the Blaster Dark is a sign of weakness committed early. So do know that Yellow Boat, when he attacks a grade 2 above, doesn't matter whether it's Irregulars or Vanguard, he actually Soul Charge 1 and plus 5k, thus pressuring the hit on the Blaster Dark. Actually guards fully for the Blaster Dark, so there's not much meaning behind the call the Blaster Dark if he have to throw so much shield already to guard the Blaster Dark. But the MLB actually tops deck the MLB here. Very excited for him. And uses Lever Up skill to search for a grade 2 from deck. Not sure what will be his target here, given there is no common blocks to work with, so Starcore Trumpeter doesn't really bring value, but it is still a booster here, so yeah, that's the best call made by him. Swings a Blasted Duck Starcore Trumpeter lane again, as same as the previous game, which is a 30k to a 9k Vanguard, forcing a 25k shoe already, which most likely will be a no guard here, given that it's too high a number. Yeah, no guards here, and getting a critical trigger here. Swing with the MLB, sucking in the column there, getting 2 markers, or to the middle. But he's contemplating whether to add 1 to the side. Okay, but he decided to just put all in the middle against a protect deck. Looks like the Lever is aiming for the yellow boat Assassinate. No guards here. Triple drives. Not hitting anything, but it's still 2 damage. Gets another critical trigger here. So most likely he's going to power to the side, so Lever can't touch anything. So actually a misplay here done by the MLB here, in which he shouldn't commit 2 markers to the middle. He should just commit 1 to the side. Because 2 markers to the middle is a bit greedy given the fact that opponent is only on grade 2 and the chances of no guarding is very high. So rise to the shout out here by the DI player and calls the offer new, so charging 1 upon call, and there's definitely more than 5 souls there, so it plus additional 5k power. Cost the number of terror there. Not sure if there's 10 souls for the plus 10k power there, but if for those people who don't know the effect, basically when he attacks, you actually can soul charge 1 unit from your rearguard circle to the Vanguard. So being soul charging in the to the Vanguard, and you can draw 2 cards upon attack. So with the shout out restand, it's quite a potential plus 4 in 1 turn, and if you have 2 number of terror, it's a plus 8. So yellow boat swings. Swing at the side for the soul charge. Swings to the number of terror here. Sucking in the awful new to draw 2 cards. Is no damage trigger here, shower attacks, standing the number of terror here, no guards. You try a critical trigger, pushing those cheap damage in. It's a double damage trigger here. Swings the number of terror here, soul charging in the yellow boat, and then drawing 2 extra cards, while still dealing damage to the MLB. Look at the hand size of the DI player. Similarly to Night Rose actually, both protect deck actually can build advantage during the battle phase and then multi-battle at the same time, which is, I would say, actually broken. So with the new set, Force meta is seemed to be, I would say, at a decline currently. So this is a Starcore here by the MLB player to get the order and the Blaster Rapier back to hand. MLB player is thinking very hard how he should commit his rear guards. Calls the Buster Rapier to the side. A misplay here, which actually I caught in game. So basically, Buster Rapier actually have to swing at the Vanguard to actually check for the top deck. So he actually swings the rear guard here and checking the top deck and putting it bottom straight away. So I did point out to him. So do mind for a short replay here. But given the fact that if he does commit the rear guard swing, he can't change his attack pattern anymore since he actually looked at the top deck of the card already. So he puts it back to the top deck. But since he already checked the top card, he have to commit. Yep, so he commits to swing at the rear guard here. But already knowing the top deck, so actually it's most likely a foul play here, but the DI player doesn't mind the misplay here done by the MLB player. So kudos to the DI player here to give him the chance to replay like that. Because knowing the top deck of your information already is quite sick in my opinion. So triple drives here, the triple blank, so I guess it's a kind of a karma kind of thing. So swings with the MLB here, which is 43k power column. Asking for 35k guard. Very simply guarded. No, sorry, 25k guard. No, it's no, he's throwing less than k guard. Luckily caught in game, but I'm very sure he has it. Yep, he has it anyway. So draws for turn, writes the second shout out here, getting another marker, which is a wall to climb for the MLB player. What's the awful new here, which is guaranteed plus 5k here. Cost another Age of Darkness, so charging 1. His soul is stacking out quite nicely in this game. Most likely hitting the 13 soul requirement already. Calling Naruto there. So this is enough pressure committed by the DI player. Conserving hand to throw for the protect marker, which is a very good play, heads up play by him. Swings with the awful nail here. No, he finished considering. Swings the yellow bolt here, so charging 1. Swings with the awful nail there. So sorry, I'm not too sure how many souls are there, but I'm very confident it's at least more than 13. Since shout swings here, standing 2 rear guards. The yellow bolt and the awful nail. Twin drives into a critical trigger here. Very important to push since MLB is already at 4. Oh, so sorry, actually at 5. So the crit doesn't matter there, but it's still a trigger, so it's always welcome. Yellow bolt swings for the final attack. Will he be enough to guard? So throws the entire hand down. And then MLB is facing a similar situation whereby he only had 1 card in hand and 2 rear guards to with potential 3. If he commits the huge trigger there, yep, he does. But will he be able to spot the misplay he did from the previous game, which I mentioned? Actually swings with the MLB column instead when forcing the early guard here. Sucking in 2 units here. Most likely to give all marker to the side, but he's hoping for critical trigger here, which I believe is a very high roll play. I could be wrong, but maybe the better play will be having using the heal again to hit the side, and then giving all the marker to the Vanguard MLB, forcing more shields, and you don't have to open a crit to guarantee the kill basically. But looks like it's the end for the MLB player here. DI player is very healthy in the rig up department and the soul. She calls a Irregulars here, which basically is on attack. You actually can retire one of the opponent's unit if you have a minimum soul requirement. Swings with the Irregulars here and bombing the hill. Not sure why he actually put it to the bottom deck. This is not basically not Yasui Tenma. So a misplay here. Most likely the MLB is tired from the final since he's actually hit the final and it's quite late into the day. Swings to the yellow boat there. So yep, easy and his game. Thank you for watching till the end, and I do have upcoming deck profiles to share with you guys, mainly Pale Moon, Hari and Silverton, and even maybe Spicy Gun Salute. So do stay tuned for all those videos.